headlines of this hour on VTV News. Minister of Health responds to legislators' concerns. And later on, textiles, footwear, and leather industries seek access to raw materials. And in a world news, Israel confirms triggering of mass pager explosions.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is currently 8 a.m. local time and you're tuning in to 30 minutes of VTV News. I'm Lin Lei with the latest updates. Now on Monday, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm chaired a meeting of the subcommittee in charge of documents for the upcoming 14th National Party Congress. Let's take a look.
Party General Secretary Tô Lâm emphasized the need to continue reaching a unified understanding of the significance of the 14th National Party Congress. This Congress marks the beginning of the new era of development, the era of the nation's rise. Therefore, the top priority is to successfully achieve the strategic goals of transforming Vietnam into a developing country with a modern industry and high average income by 2030, and into a developed socialist country with high income by 2045. This era should also ignite the national spirit, promoting self-reliance, confidence, independence, national pride, and the aspiration for rapid and sustainable development. It is also essential to combine the strength of the nation with the power of this era.
The two goals are set, and with 20 years left, each stage, each period, and each Congress must address specific issues. We need to identify the necessary conditions for success. It is also crucial to recognize that the 14th National Party Congress marks the symbolic starting point of a new era. However, this is just a symbolic milestone. The tasks we set must begin right now. We must adopt a sense of urgency. Whatever can be done now should be done immediately. For instance, some are concerned about reorganizing the apparatus. This cannot wait until after the local congresses or after the 14th Congress is held.
The Party General Secretary requested that the subcommittee finalize the overall model for the political systems organization structure, urgently implementing Resolution 18 on streamlining the apparatus. He also emphasized that preparations for the 100th anniversary of the Communist Party's founding and its century-long leadership of the Vietnamese Revolution should be included in the draft report for the Congress.
The 14th National Party Congress is the term in which we will celebrate the 100th anniversary of the founding of the party, affirming the party's leadership role and its 100 years of leading the Vietnamese revolutionary cause. This term is crucial to summarize the party's history and maturity in leadership and governance. This must be included in the Congress's resolution.
The Party General Secretary also requested the report on party building and charter implementation should focus on enhancing the party's policy-making capacity. He stressed the need to renew the issuance and dissemination of party resolutions, accelerate administrative reform within the party, and boost the use of information technology and digital transformation in its operations.
State President Nguyen Tan Dung and his high-ranking delegation paid tribute to President Ho Chi Minh in Santiago on November the 10th local time as part of their official visit to Chile. They laid flowers at the statue of the late Vietnamese leader in a park named in his honor. The ceremony was attended by former Chilean President Michelle Bachelet, Communist Party of Chile President Lautaro Carmona, Cerro Navia District Mayor Mauro Tamayo, and numerous local residents. Former President Bachelet expressed her honor at participating in the event, highlighting the visit's significance as both nations seek to strengthen their ties. She noted that the gathering in Cerro Navia reflects the enduring friendship between Chile and Vietnam, while also paving the way for deeper collaboration. State President Nguyen Tan Dung conveyed heartfelt gratitude to the Chilean people, especially Cerro Navia residents, for preserving Ho Chi Minh Park as a lasting symbol of solidarity and cooperation between the two countries. He acknowledged the statue as a representation of Chileans' affection for President Ho Chi Minh and recalled the special bond between President Ho Chi Minh and President Salvador Allende. He emphasized that Allende's 1969 visit to Vietnam as Senate President has provided immense moral support and solidified the connection between the Vietnamese and Chilean peoples. State President Nguyen Tan Dung also visited the home of late Chilean President Salvador Allende on November the 10th local time during his official visit to Chile. Allende, a close friend of President Ho Chi Minh and the Vietnamese people, was warmly remembered during the visit. State President Nguyen Tan Dung extended his best wishes to Allende's family, including Senator Isabel Allende, who has a deep affection for Vietnam. Senator Allende expressed her hope that the visit by the high-ranking Vietnamese delegation would further strengthen the traditional friendship between the two nations. She also praised Vietnam's recent socio-economic progress. State President Nguyen Tan Dung expressed deep gratitude for the Chilean people's admiration for President Ho Chi Minh. He emphasized the strong bond between Vietnam and Chile, despite the geographical distance, and highlighted their mutual support through history. He noted that the visit aims to identify strategic areas for cooperation to strengthen economic ties and contribute to both countries' development. He also expressed hope that Senator Allende, in her roles in the Senate and the Socialist Party, would continue to enhance the Vietnam-Chile relationship. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with UN Resident Coordinator in Vietnam, Pauline Temesis, on November the 10th to celebrate UN Day, observed on October the 24th. He expressed gratitude for the UN's long-standing support of Vietnam's development and emphasized the country's commitment to multilateralism and the UN's central role. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính affirmed Vietnam's readiness to collaborate and contribute to global efforts addressing current challenges, promoting peace, sustainable development, and human rights. The Prime Minister highlighted key areas for collaborations such as advancing Vietnam's strategic priorities in institutional reform, infrastructure, and human resources, implementing outcomes from the Future Summit, achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, tackling climate change through the JETP Declaration, and driving digital transformation. He called for UN support in policy advice, mobilizing resources in science and technology, enhancing governance, and training skilled workers. UN representatives praised Vietnam's active contributions to UN initiatives and its development progress, reaffirming their commitment to ongoing cooperation for sustainable development. During Monday afternoon's National Assembly question and answer session, legislators questioned Minister of Health Đào Hồng Lan about several concerns in the health sector.
During the Q&A session, National Assembly deputies expressed concerns about the increasing use of e-cigarettes and heated tobacco products among youth and called for measures to address this growing issue.
Electronic cigarettes and heated tobacco products pose a significant health risk. Please provide an assessment of the current situation regarding this issue and outline the solutions to control it.
The use of electronic cigarettes and heated tobacco products is currently on the rise. Numerous scientific reports have highlighted the harmful effects of these products on the heart, liver, and lungs, and their potential to cause psychotic disorders. We strongly advocate for a resolution from the National Assembly to ban electronic cigarettes and heated tobacco products before the law on prevention of tobacco harms is reviewed and amended.
New generation tobacco products, including electronic cigarettes and heated tobacco, have not yet been defined in any other legal documents. There has been a prolonged legal gap in the state's management of these products. I propose that the National Assembly and the government urgently issue policies and develop a comprehensive legal framework to strictly and clearly regulate these types of products.
The Minister of Health also addressed concerns regarding the management of certificates and licenses for medical practitioners.
Medical practitioners are currently able to submit applications for licenses in any locality, which can result in individuals holding multiple licenses. Could the minister clarify what measures the ministry will implement to ensure that each practitioner is issued only one license?
The healthcare sector has developed a nationwide software system for managing medical practitioners. Under the revised law on medical examination and treatment and Decree 96, the system will be updated to ensure a healthcare practitioner is allowed only one license. We are moving towards nationwide management of practitioners' licenses.
The Minister of Health also addressed questions from the National Assembly deputies regarding ensuring a stable supply of medicines for hospital pharmacies, as well as managing dietary supplements and cosmetics that are advertised and sold on social media platforms.
In the textiles, footwear, and leather goods industries, Vietnamese companies face varying levels of value capture. When solely outsourcing for foreign brands, they typically retain only 10% of the product value. By participating in design, this share can increase to about 30%. However, controlling the raw material supply chain could allow them to capture more than 70% of the product value. As such, deepening involvement in the global production chain and increasing control over raw materials have become urgent priorities for Vietnamese enterprises.
This footwear and handbag manufacturing company is one of the first in Vietnam to establish a product design and development center. This is considered an opportunity, as many foreign fashion brands seek to cut costs by outsourcing this process to manufacturers. However, it's also a challenge, as access to raw materials is crucial for effective design.
Manufacturers need access to raw materials to inspire their ideas. Currently, we have to import these materials, and we lack exhibition centers or trade fairs for raw materials, where creative design teams like ours can connect with the latest trends and innovations.
Currently, nearly half of the raw materials used for textiles, footwear, and handbags in Vietnam are imported. Businesses typically have to participate in international trade fairs and exhibitions to search for suppliers and partners.
We need to establish dedicated areas for raw material trade and attract high-quality materials to Vietnam. Only then can we produce higher-end products, which will result in better profit margins.
Additionally, developing the domestic raw material industry is also an urgent issue.
We need to develop strategic plans for product categories that allow us to be proactive in design, utilizing raw materials currently available in Vietnam. If we fail to do so, we risk wasting the zero-tariff provisions of the new generation free trade agreements.
Foreign markets are increasingly imposing new requirements on imported goods. For the textiles, footwear, and leather goods industries, there's a growing demand for green and sustainable production. Those who control the raw materials will have the upper hand in the market.
As of early October this year, foreign companies such as Google, Facebook, and TikTok have paid over $340 million in taxes, an increase of nearly 26% compared to the same period last year, according to the General Department of Taxation. With this additional payment, total tax contributions from foreign enterprises have exceeded $790 million since March 2022, when the electronic portal for foreign suppliers was launched. Currently, nearly 120 foreign suppliers are registered to pay taxes via the electronic portal. Major companies like Meta, Google, Microsoft, TikTok, Netflix, and Apple dominate the cross-border e-commerce market in Vietnam, accounting for approximately 90% of the revenue share. Coming up next on VTV News, Vietnam sees significant drop in system attacks. And later on, Cần Thơ City's efforts to diversify river tourism products. Welcome back to VTV News Live. Now moving on to other important updates. The Authority of Information Security under the Ministry of Information and Communications reported 204 cyber attacks on information systems in Vietnam in October, an 18.4% drop from the previous month and a sharp 79.8% decrease from October 2023. From January to October, there were 4,483 cyber attacks, marking a decline of over 57% compared to the same period last year. The most significant reductions occurred over the last 3 months, with incidents falling steadily from 349 in August to 250 in September and 204 in October. Security experts noted that this continuous decrease reflects improved awareness and proactive measures by Vietnamese organizations in protecting their information systems. However, they also warned of increasingly sophisticated and dangerous cyber attack campaigns, especially ransomware, which continue to threaten operations, finances, and reputations. To mitigate these risks, the Authority of Information Security recommends 3 main solutions: planning effective responses, investing adequately in cybersecurity, and regularly conducting response drills. The fisheries sector remains a key economic driver, contributing about 30% to the agriculture sector's GDP. However, the ongoing yellow card warning from the European Commission, or EC, poses new market risks. With the EC's 5th inspection approaching, local authorities are intensifying efforts to combat illegal, unreported, and unregulated, or IUU fishing during a crucial enforcement month.
This province has 674 registered fishing vessels, each measuring over 6 meters in length. All vessels over 15 meters long are equipped with vessel monitoring systems VMS. Since the beginning of the year, the VMS system has detected 358 instances where vessels lost VMS connection for over 6 hours but less than 10 days due to sudden disconnections. To date, no vessels in the province have faced administrative penalties for VMS disruptions while at sea.
We strictly comply with the law, always ensuring that our vessel's tracking system is activated and properly recorded when we go out to sea and fish in the designated fishing areas.
Despite the progress, the province still faces challenges, with 50 instances of 18 fishing vessels crossing allowed boundaries. All such cases have been flagged by the Coastal Monitoring Station, which alerts ship owners and relevant authorities for verification once the vessels return to shore. Additionally, 385 vessels in the province remain unregistered, with many vessels overdue for inspection and some ship owners failing to maintain complete records of their routes.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is working closely with the Ministry of National Defense and local authorities to implement comprehensive support solutions for fishermen.
Moving forward, the province will need to focus on resolving the issues of 3 no fishing vessels, no registration, no inspection, and no fishing license, aiming to complete registration by this year.
In Quảng Ngãi province, residents in mountainous districts affected by flooding are gradually stabilizing their daily lives. This progress is thanks to the local government's proactive efforts to resettle communities on a larger scale to prevent natural disasters, particularly addressing the increasingly complex issues of landslides.
This is the resettlement area in Sơn Long Commune, Sơn Tây District, spanning 2.6 hectares. It was established after a devastating landslide in November 2020 forced many families from Rapan village to evacuate. The local government constructed this area to provide a safe haven for the displaced residents.
It's more enjoyable here. No more worries about landslides.
Now the houses are solid. There's no fear of landslides in the rainy season.
In the 5 mountainous districts of Quảng Ngãi, over 1,800 households with more than 7,300 people live in areas prone to landslides and flash floods, threatening their lives and property. Local authorities face difficulties due to a shortage of resettlement land.
There are still many difficulties, especially in building supporting institutions when resettling residents. The province recommends that the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the government support localities.
The province has identified about 160 landslides-prone locations, and if floods intensify, many more households may require relocation. However, significant challenges persist, primarily due to limited resources. In the long term, Quảng Ngãi plans to integrate its resettlement efforts with a program to replace temporary housing.
The echoing sound of the pestle on Sakbomba Festival recently opened at the Stieng Ethnic Cultural Preservation Area in Sakbomba, Budang District, Binh Phuc Province. The festival featured a special performance called Pounding Rice by Hand, feeding the army and fighting for the nation, with hundreds of actors and artists reenacting the efforts of the Stieng people during the resistance against the U.S. war. Other highlights included a trade fair, cultural and agricultural product stalls, and culinary event called Flavors by Bamboo Torches, a cultural exchange among ethnic groups, a reenactment of the Friendship Festival, a performance with 50 stone musical instruments, traditional games, and a marathon themed The Road to Visit Sakbomba. Cần Thơ City has recently introduced a new tourist experience, exploring its rivers and cityscapes at night. This initiative showcases the unique beauty of the Mekong Delta with a particular emphasis on Cần Thơ itself. By diversifying its range of tourism offerings, the city aims to attract more visitors to this vibrant region.
As night falls, visitors begin their journey to explore the Cần Thơ River. In the cool evening air, tourists can savor traditional southern cuisine, admire the Cái Răng floating market, and take in the sight of Trần Hoàng Na Bridge, a new landmark of Cần Thơ City.
As I cross the bridge behind me, the lights change smoothly and constantly, creating some truly beautiful scenes.
I find the rhythm of life here very calm and unhurried. As I cross the bridge behind me, the lights change smoothly and constantly, creating some truly beautiful scenes.
This Cần Thơ River cruise is a part of an effort to revitalize the tourism experience in Cần Thơ City. The entire journey allows visitors to explore the simple beauty of the scenery along both sides of the river.
This is one of the tours we believe will attract visitors to Cần Thơ, as they will have the opportunity to experience the unique charm of the river life in Cần Thơ City, which is truly fascinating.
In 2024, the tourism sector of Cần Thơ City aims to welcome 6.1 million visitors and generate total revenue of nearly $240,000.
Coming up next in our world news, Israel confirms triggering of mass pager explosion. And later on, Kremlin denies report of phone call between Russian President Putin and U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. Now moving on to our world news. During Israel's weekly cabinet meeting on Sunday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly acknowledged authorizing an attack on Hezbollah in September, which involved the explosion of thousands of pagers and walkie-talkies across Lebanon and Syria. That is the first time an Israeli official has openly confirmed the country's role in triggering the explosions targeting Hezbollah. The operation was carried out in two phases on September the 17th and 18th. According to reports from Lebanon, at least 42 people were killed and over 3,400 were injured in the blasts. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov has denied reports of a phone call between Russian President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. Peskov, quoted by TASS, dismissed the claims as false, emphasizing that no such conversation took place. He also stated that there are no plans for a phone call between the two leaders. The denial came after the Washington Post reported, citing sources, that Trump had spoken with Putin. However, both Russia and the U.S. have not officially confirmed the report. The 29th Conference of the Parties, COP29 to the UN Climate Change Framework, officially opened Monday in Baku, Azerbaijan, welcoming over 51,000 delegates. This year's conference is particularly significant as 2024 is on track to be the hottest year on record. The world is currently grappling with severe impacts of climate change, including floods, droughts, heat waves, and storms. These events are intensifying pressure on governments to take stronger action in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The EU's climate agency warns that global temperatures in 2024 could surpass the critical 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold set by the 2015 Paris Agreement, a limit that, if crossed, could trigger irreversible environmental damage. Germany's Carnival season kicked off on Monday with thousands of costume revelers flooding the streets and pubs of the western city of Cologne. Every year, the city transforms into a vibrant sea of color, music, and celebration. This is the heart of Germany's Carnival season, one of the most exciting and energetic festivals in Europe.
Carnival begins every year at 11:11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month. The highlight of Carnival is the Grand Parade on Rose Monday, or Rosenmontag. It's a massive, colourful procession featuring dazzling floats, marching bands, and the beloved Prince Carnival, who leads the festivities with his royal entourage. But it's not just about the spectacle, it's a chance for everyone to join in the fun.
It's great. With Carnival, you either feel it or you stay home.
Carnival in Cologne is about more than just costumes and parades. It's a time for people to let loose, sing traditional songs like Viva Colonia, and celebrate the spirit of community. It wouldn't be Carnival without a few beers. The local Kölsch is the drink of choice.
We are taking it all in. Whether rain or snow, storm or wind, we will always be here.
The streets of Cologne remain filled with life long into the night as pubs, clubs and open squares host concerts, costume balls and more. Carnival in Cologne truly is a 24-hour celebration.
And up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast. And that is all that we have this hour on VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website or YouTube channel or download a mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.